Now, as she mentioned, messages to industry, we are now going to hear from the industry side. Schibsted is based here in Norway and has had many dialogues with the data protection authorities, but they're international, operating in 30 countries with almost 7,000 employees. So we have 3 members of the team here to speak to us. We have Ingvild Ness, who is head of privacy, Marta Radman, product manager, privacy, and Navasima Raghavan Veeragavan, senior technical program manager. Over to you.
Thank you. We are here from Schibsted Media Group to tell about how we work on privacy in Schibsted, and really to tell you how we work to ensure that your privacy is our business, and to tell you how we see privacy as a business opportunity. I'm Ingvild. I'm the Group Privacy Officer in Schibsted. I head up a unit called the Privacy Office. My responsibility is Schibsted's privacy strategy and performance, and my background is legal. In Schibsted, we are working on privacy from a triangle perspective. So that's why I'm here today with representatives both from product and tech.
Hi, I'm Narasimha. I lead the tech initiatives at Privacy. So I'm here today to talk about the various initiatives that we are taking to protect the consumer privacy.
Yes, and I'm Marta, and I'm heading up the product that we are creating to empower our users in regards to their data. So before we talk about privacy, let's have a quick look at Schibsted. Schibsted is an international player with companies in more than 24 countries, and you might know us best through our news sites like VG, Aftenposten, Stavanger Aftenblad, or Fædrelandsvennen, or Svenska Dagbladet or Aftonbladet in Sweden. But Schibsted has also a substantial amount of classified sites across the globe. Here in Norway, we have Finn, Blocket in Sweden, Le Bon Coin in France, for instance, or Segunda Mano in Mexico. Traditionally, each of these companies in Schibsted has almost acted as a standalone company. But if we are to compete against global players like Google and Facebook, we need to act as one company moving forward. So that's why we built this strategy. We will continue to focus on media houses and news sites and classifiers. We will also explore the opportunities that lies within the new online services. In order to continue to build relevant services for our users, we need to know who they are and what they do. And therefore, an important part of this new strategy is to build components, global components that can be used for all sites across Schibsted. That will enable the users to log in using one service, and also that will give them personalized experience across our brands.
And exactly that, personalization, which we have heard a lot about already today, that's the direction we are going as well. We see now that our users, they are used to personalized experiences on Netflix, Amazon, and other services. Now they expect the same from us. When consuming news or going to a digital marketplace, they expect us to deliver really tailor-made content. And that basically means that we need a lot of data to really be able to provide that. And the traditional approach to privacy has really been focused on data minimization. The principle of data minimization tells us in Schibsted that we are supposed to collect and use as little data as possible about your users and use it for as little as possible. As we see it, this principle doesn't really make sense anymore. It's really not in you as users' best interest. What is, however, extremely important is that you can feel trust, that you understand what is going on, what data we have, why we use it, how we use it, but not only that, that you are empowered, that actually you can decide how we use your data. And as we see it, exactly the two trust factors, transparency and user empowerment, is really the essence of the new EU requirements, which will be realized across Europe in 2018. You have heard about it already from Katarina Nes and Albrecht, and it's really focused about you as users being able to take control and let us as a company know how you want us to use your data. We have to say goodbye to the endlessly long privacy policies and really give you the opportunity to decide on a much more granular basis than today how you want us to use your data.
So being transparent and empowering users is very important from a legal perspective, but also in order to ensure our users' trust. And we see a potential beyond this. We see that there's opportunities here to engage with our users and also strengthen their relationship with us. And that is why we are creating now this engaging and empowering tool. What you see here is the first version of this tool. And when we started working on this product, what we saw in the early phases was that the users need to understand how data is being used and what are they getting in return for it. Therefore, we are now focusing on explaining to the users what is data and how do we use it in Schibsted. And we try to do so in quite a simple, clear language with some supportive illustrations to make it understandable. It's important for us to also understand you, our users, and therefore we continuously seek for your feedback. We also try to educate the users on the tools that the sites are using to improve the experiences they provide to you. Going forward, we are looking into transparency. We want to show the users what data we have. And also, we want to provide the users with controls. Controls that they can tell us how they want to use the data to be used. So, what you've seen today is only the tip of the iceberg. Not only in regards to the features that we want to create for our users, but also the complexity and the effort that lies behind such a product. We spend a substantial amount of hours doing user research, tech development, quality assurance testing, and product optimization behind every feature that we release to our users. And hidden is not only the complexity behind a product development, but it's also the technical architecture that lies within Schibsted that has to respect and act on the signals, the control signals that the user will give us.
Yeah. So before I talk about privacy by design initiatives at Schibsted, I would like to know how many of you are aware of putting privacy by design in practice in internet businesses. Can you raise your hands? Wow. Wow. Yeah, I see a few hands. Cool. So at Schibsted, we take, oops, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No. So at Schibsted, we take best efforts in guaranteeing privacy by design through 3 initiatives. The first one is data governance initiative. So the key purpose of this initiative is to get sufficient control over the data that gets into the Schibsted and also the usage of these data by various internal services. In addition to that, we also would like to get sufficient control over the data that we share with the third parties. As part of this initiative, we wanted to build a data governance engine, a kind of a policy enforcement engine or a rule engine that guarantees the safety criteria and correctness criteria with respect to various operations performed on the user data. So the second initiative is about building a bunch of privacy services. These are like a back-end services which help us to protect the user data. So the first service is about privacy broker. You can think this service as like kind of a transporter of privacy signals from a bunch of front-end systems to back-end systems. For example, you go to the privacy tool and then click a delete button. So this deletion signal needs to be transmitted to Finn, VG, Aftenposten, and quite a few Schibsted sites. So, and also we need to make sure like each of these sites have honored the signals and then write back to the privacy broker, which in turn sends a message to the front-end tool saying that, hey, we have successfully performed the deletion operation across all of our sites. And yeah, the second service that we are exploring is building a privacy failure detectors. So you could think this as a kind of privacy probes that monitor our internal services with respect to their privacy behavior. And in case if any of the internal services violate the privacy behavior, then it rises an escalation to appropriate privacy stakeholders within the organization. And the third area that we are exploring is user-managed access. So we wanted to provide sufficient control to the user with respect to the data that we get and then the data that is shared to third parties, as well as how the internal services can access the data. And another interesting area that we are exploring is differential privacy. So if we are able to tap the full potential of differential privacy, we believe we can build great services and at the same time provide a great privacy to our consumers. But we are also taking some academic collaboration in this area, try to figure out how differential privacy can be applied within the context of Schibsted architecture. And the last area that we are exploring for now is data inventory. So we would like to build a data inventory per user, meaning that like what data we have about a user in what databases and then which services have access to these databases. So when we have this data inventory up and running, it would be much easier for us to build data deletion and data takeout tools in a quite easy way. Yeah, and the third initiative is about privacy impact assessment. So we want to make sure that all of our features that are launched should have a good privacy, should protect the user's privacy in a good way. So as part of this initiative, we are working on building some new privacy review tools and also working on some new privacy testing techniques. And the goal of this initiative is to come up with an automated privacy assessment tool. Yeah. So these are the three initiatives that we are taking right now to protect consumer privacy from a back-end perspective.
So in Schibsted, we will not stop or fight the collection and use of personal data. Rather, we will make sure that we use your data to provide you with better services and products, really to use your data to your benefit, and empower you through transparency and effective control measures. And we think, as users, then you can have the necessary trust, and thereby you will also continue to give us the data we need to develop our business and provide you with even more relevant products and services going forward. Thank you.